Hey, this is Brian Figure. What I got here is the 1/9 scale Batman Returns Michael Keaton Batman. This is made by Beast Kingdom. They usually make a bunch of egg attack figures with big heads, but they have been making action figures with proportionate heads. Their proportionate action figures are called Dynamic Action Heroes. The box looks pretty nice. I like the simple design, and it's pretty compact compared to the other boxes I got. Now, this is the very first Batman Returns figure that's not Hot Toys or Kenners. Many toy lines would make 1989 Batman, but barely ever made this particular look. Let's take this off real quick. This is my very first purchase of Beast Kingdom. This is the Beast Kingdom logo right here. Beast Kingdom. Oops. I just dropped it. Okay. So, yeah, it says Dynamic Action Heroes. So it's really saying Action Heroes. I don't know why it says 8. It's 1/9 scale. So maybe they mean like 8 inches tall. Dynamic Action Heroes. And it's a Batman Returns Batman. Over 20 points of articulation. So yeah, you can see the picture, the promo shots of the figure. He looks really good. That's why I bought it. The pictures convincing me to buy it for the very first time. This is my first Beast Kingdom figure, and I feel like he deserves a review. So let's take him out of the box. See what it looks like. You can see everything in there in that plastic bubble. So far, this figure looks pretty good, except for the cape. I'm not sure about that one. So in this video, I'm going to cover size, comparison, articulation, poses, sculpt, paint, alternate accessories, pros, cons, and my opinion. Without further ado, let's cover size. Now let's start with the measurement. He stands at just, not counting the ears, he stands just about 8.3 inches. 8.3 inches tall. Here's McFarlane DC Multiverse Hush Batman. You can see, I mean, he's the tallest of the McFarlane line. And he's still smaller than that. Right? Now let's look at Marvel Legends Peter Parker. So that's the size. McFarlane DC Multiverse Michael Keaton Batman. Let me close the legs a little bit. Okay. This is Michael Keaton Batman. That's how tall he is. Steel. Still shorter than that. Steel is quite tall for a McFarlane figure. So, yeah. And it's still shorter than that. So, it's a big scale. It's their own line, right? You're not going to find anything in this scale. Only Beast Kingdom has that size. Nothing else. Now, just for fun, let's look at Mafex Cyborg Superman. See how tiny he is. Mafex Hush Batman. right? Sorry. Mafex Hush Batman. And that's the scale. Okay, let's do articulation. This head, it does have some joint in there. It goes up this far. It goes up that far, or back, like back and up. It goes down this far. A little far down to the point that it covers the logo a little bit. The top part of the logo. And it does rotate a little bit, like here, and another here. And it moves around, it slides to side as well. So you have it right here or here. So it's like this, basically. That's interesting. So that's the articulation. It's articulated in that neck piece right here. So yeah, that's interesting. Now, the arms. Let's look at how far they go. I think that's it. Stops right here. Yep. That's the furthest. Now, it does have bicep swivel. Bicep swivel. Double jointed elbows. It goes about this far. So, that's pretty good. Now, let's look at the hands. This is hard to move because it just pops off sometimes, see? I know it can move, it's just really, really tight in this area. And it's unbelievably small compared to the wrist. I mean, just look out. It's half the size of this part right here. See that? That is ridiculous. So if I try to move this way, it keeps popping off. So it just refuses to move. I mean, oh, it is really tight. It is very tight. See the little black pieces on my hand? That's from just moving this figure. So yeah, there's that. It does have a swivel. So there's that. That's it. See this little pieces? They keep coming off. I don't know what's going on. That is weird. Let me try to move this. Yep, tight as well. Oh man, that is tight. No butterfly joint. Just nothing. Oh, this piece keeps falling off. I can put it back on easily. It's just really loose. See? Keeps falling off. That's interesting. So anyway, there's this. Now it arches back this far. Right? And crunches forward quite far. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. It's pretty smooth on both sides. Like there's no cut or anything. It's just still, it's quite smooth. So that's good. And side to side, a little bit. That's pretty good still. Other side. Knee piece fell off. And then no swivel, barely any. Now let's do the bottom part. It does move a little bit in the front. Let me move the arm. What's this? I have to move this. It's really awkward because you can't see because he's black and the cape is in the way. So there. Now, see, it moves a little bit here. Moves a little bit back. That's the furthest. I can feel it stopping right there. Forward, back. Now, let's see. It does a side to side on the bottom of the purpose piece right here. See? Swivel a little bit. That's the most. Now let's do the whole chest area. It goes this far, arches back, this far. Pretty good. Punches forward, this far. It has really good chest articulation. Very good chest articulation. Now, this bound piece is loose. You can move it around actually. See? Move it all the way around. So that's nice. Now the hip joints. I have to be careful when I move it. Let's see. You hear that? Whew. I need to put silicone shock oil on there. I do not like how that sounds. So, I'm gonna stop here and just put the silicone oil in it, and then I'll come right back. Now I'm back. I glued this knee piece and added the chalk oil on the joints, both sides. So now I'm gonna start showing you how they move. Okay. This does have drop down hips. Right? Drops down, way down here. This one's a little tighter. It goes down, see? There. And then now, you see, it goes up about this far, which is pretty good. Pretty good. It goes up this far. That's good. Now, let's see. It does have thigh swivel, upper thigh swivel. It goes out this far and it goes in this far. And now, what else? Oh, the legs do close in really good. See, they touch the ankles touch each other. That's very good. Very good. Now, let's see if he could do the split. Split is very good. That's really good. Now, the knees. Now, when you think about it, you have to remember that this piece right here, it can get ruined if you try to push it too far. So, even though it is double jointed, it still acts like single jointed because it only goes this far. That's it. It's because of this plastic piece. Let me get a closer look. You see the plastic piece? Hold on. get closer so you can see it's not so blurry. See this little piece? It broke off. It's because of that joint design. The engineering is so bad on the knees. You can see it just already breaking in that particular section right here. So if I try to squeeze it more, right? Try to squeeze it more. Look how the plastic, it bends and it's tearing the piece of plastic right here. So yeah, it's a real bummer, big major bummer. So it only goes this far. That's it. Do not go any further. You'll break this little piece of plastic back there. So just be careful with that. Now, the feet, I'm gonna start with this one. So you can see the feet goes down this far, which is good. It goes up this far, which is good. It does have ankle swivel and ankle pivot and toe joint. Look at that. Look at that weird looking gap over there. So the toe joint is even smaller than it looks. So it's probably the smallest piece of joint of this figure, which is weird. All right, now that we looked at the articulation, let's get into posing. Okay, now that we're done with the posing, I want to talk about cloth. This has like a faux leather. Is that what you call it? F-A-U-X leather. It's like fake leather, like not really real leather. And it looks like leather due to the texture of it. And then you see the other side, it has no texture. So it looks like it's somehow painted on or something, I don't know. There's no stitching on either side, no stitching. It's just put on together. It's just held together by some kind of glue. And sometimes it will come undone. So just keep them closed like that. And the cape is completely glued on the top right here. I don't know if you can see it, but it's completely glued on there. So if you want to take it off and replace it, it's going to be a pain to do. It does not hold up the wires. I mean, the wires do hold up, but it stops at the top and there's no wire on the plastic, right? So it just goes like this. And there's another one. So it can't pose. It can't pose. So if you want the cape to go up, to stay up, you have to use the arm like this to hold it up. You know, like that. I wish the cape was a different material, because I don't like how it gets poofy on the sides. Because if I leave it like this, see, he has the same problem. It just poofs out on the sides. It doesn't, you know, drape straight down. Alright, I want to get into Sculpt Paint. It looks like Michael Keaton. I mean, you can pull up a picture if you want. If you compare the head to the picture, you'll see that it looks a lot like Michael Keaton. They got the lips done right, the smiling wrinkles. They got the chin right. It looks like him. It's a really good sculpt. I like the cowl a lot. By a whole lot. Just wish the ears were more pointy, you know. But I guess they did that because they're afraid it would chip off. So I get it. But Mafex has made much sharper bat ears before. But it's still good. I'm still happy with it. There's this little spot right here. See, it's really smooth, but not this. And you can see it. Kind of sucks, but that's just the way it is. Oh, I forgot about the skin. The skin looks really good. It's subtle, but that's good enough. Don't add anything. You know what I mean? You know, sometimes less is more. It looks really good so far. And he's got a little bit pink on his lips. It's not bad. It looks good. Like perfect. Now I want to talk about the chest. It's the proportion of this figure is a little weird. Let me put the arms down so you can see. Let me move it over to the side so you can see the head too. But he's got weird looking arms. I don't know what's going on with the arms. Maybe they're too thin or something. I don't know. But it does look good. I think it looks good. It looks pretty good. He's got good silhouette of the body. And this is accurate. And this seam across his thigh, he actually had that in the movie. The only thing missing is that little M shape. But how do you do that with this joint cut right here? Right? So, yeah, they did the right thing. I love the chest design. It makes more sense because this particular Bruce Wayne, he was not muscular at the time. He was just like lean, just normal. So this is way more fitting for Michael Keaton. I really like it. And the arms, you can see the arms. Let me turn it over. See the arms. Looks good. Kinda. It's got some weird spots here and there. I like the gauntlet. Is that what you call it? Or gloves. Gloves look good. If you bend it though, the sculpt looks weird. It's kind of cut a little bit, but it's not too bad actually. It's still a little weird. I think the wrists are ridiculous though. Just look at the size of that thing. The wrist joint. I mean, the hand fits, but not this. This is really, really thick at the wrist. It's like 2 times the size. It's got some wrinkles here and there. Very nice. Little detail. Some wrinkles. So it looks like he's wearing gloves. belt is nice because it's softer, so it's never gonna, you know, break or anything like that. But I do wish there was a little peg in the back, and it just pegs into the back so it stays in place, because it keeps moving around too much. But it's good though, it's good. I don't like this because it looks very dirty compared to the rest of the suit. The rest of the suit is very clean looking, and then you get to see this, it's a little bit dirty. Whatever they used for the shading on there, it makes no sense. I think it's just best to maybe use orange, because I see more black on here, black shading. It's not so bad though, but still. There's the boots. I'm not sure exactly, but I think it's pretty accurate. That's what he had in the movie. This is interesting. And it says 2023 DC. I really like how the knees look, because when you bend it, it's very smooth. That looks very nice. Oh, there's another panel line in the back here. Just little detail here and there is really pretty accurate. I don't know if he looked like that in the back. I've never seen it. So it's there, and that's interesting. Little lines here and there. Very interesting. So it's all black. All black. It was clearly just cast in black plastic. There's no black paint anywhere. It's just the S shield. I mean, just the bat symbol and the belt. That bat symbol, it is so clean. Really clean. Looks great. Overall, the sculpt and paint is really good. I'm happy with it. Okay, let's talk about alternates. These are alternate hands. These are fished hands. And I want you to keep in mind that it's very, very hard to swap the hands. You have to squeeze really hard and push it really hard. There. See how hard it is? I'm trying, but it's really tough. So I have to put it in a really awkward position because of those blades on his gauntlet. So I have to carefully. It is super hard to put on. So yeah, that's not good. You can hold something in it. You can use this hand to hold a bat drain. So not only for the cape, but also. See that? That was tough. Wow. And sometimes it is so hard. I bent some pieces here, so be careful. So you have to hold it a certain way to swap the hands. That's really stupid. I don't even need to worry about doing that with the Mafex speakers. But this one, I have to really push it really hard. Oh my God. I'm just showing you real time of swapping them, because these are the worst I have ever done. Just the worst. Absolute worst. This is how you break these things, because you have to pinch on them so hard and really push hard. You'll risk breaking these things. So anyway, these are like, what do you call that weapon? Grappling gun. So yeah, these are the hands that hold the grappling gun. I mean, at least that's what it looks like. I tried to do it, it doesn't really fit in all that much. I mean, just a little bit. And there you have it. He's holding a grappling gun. With this. These are open, I call them crunchy hands, kind of. They're kind of crunchy hands. Kind of. These fingers, they look kind of weird. They look like little midget fingers. Look how tiny those fingers are. They got short length. It's kind of weird looking. It's not bad for the sculpt. It's just, it's a little weird. And these are open, relaxed hands. They look more relaxed compared to the other one. This is more like spread out a little bit. This is more relaxed. Okay, let's talk about accessories. He's got that tiny little thing, which he uses for his Batmobile. You can see a little bat symbol on there. There you go. Can you see that? Pretty cool. And he's got a grappling gun. Decent detail, but I feel like there should be some more paint application on it, because I know there's more to it. I'm gonna put up a picture right here so you can compare the grappling gun. That's what it looks like. Here is a batarang with the rope, and you have on one end a little ring, and you're supposed to have him grabbing onto something, I guess. Maybe, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, that's what you got. And you got these little weapons. I have never seen him use these in the movie. Okay, now I want to talk about the cons. The wrist joints are too tight. Like, this particular wrist joint is too tight, and the sculpt of the wrists are too big. I mean, just on the side, like, if you look at the front, it's not too bad, right? It's not too bad. But when you turn to the side, it's way too wide on the side. So, and these hands, they pop off easily, but they get really, really hard to swap. Like, you have to take them off, and you have to really push the hands onto the joint pieces, and they are very hard to swap. So yeah, see, they come off easily, but it's harder to snap on. I just don't know what to do with this. And the wrist joint is too tight, so you can't really move it with the hand. You have to push it with your finger. You have to take this off and then push it, like, you hold on one side and you just push it like that. It's really unbelievably tight. And the flanking keeps happening the more I do it. So that's annoying. And it has no chest swivel. No chest swivel. Like, barely any chest swivel. And very tight joints. To the point it might risk breaking. So you have to use a dab. and I mean a dab of silicone shock oil onto the joint piece, like right here on the ball joint. Use very, very tiny, like at the tip of the toothpick. You put it on here, very tiny. Just slide it on there, and that's it. That's all you gotta do. So yeah, I put too much on it, so now it's like loose. So yeah, it's frustrating. Double jointed knees don't function like they're double jointed knees, right? They function like they're single jointed knees because it only has a 90-degree bend. Any further, you'll break the back piece of the cap. I mean, you'll tear it open completely. See, if I move it like this, look how it tears already. Horrible engineering. And it has a weird large gap in the toe joints. It's just ridiculous. I can clip my toenails with that. The cloth, the cape, problem is it's too poofy on the sides. Like this. It gets too poofy. It goes outwards on the sides. And now the arms have to hold the cape up. So you can keep the cape upwards for like dynamic poses. Because if you leave the arms out of the way and you want his cape to flow backwards like this, it keeps falling downwards. See? So yeah, that's a bummer. And the wired sections, they need to be stitched. There needs to be a stitching like around here because there's no stitching here. And this thing keeps, I'll show you. You can see this thing keeps getting undone. The glue is not strong enough to hold them together. You can see the wire inside. I have to push it back in, but it's gonna get undone soon. And the shading on the belt, it doesn't look right because it doesn't fit with the overall look. You know, if they did that with the shading like this, it should have been applied all around the belt and applied on here. But that's not the case with this. It's just on the belt buckle. That's it. And this belt should have been painted gold. I'm pretty sure he had a gold belt in the movie. And the arms are kind of small. I don't know. It's just, it does not look right. It looks weird. I don't know. The sculpt is a little weird. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, those are the cons. Okay, let's talk about the pros. I didn't include the scale on the cons because it's not fair to do that because the scale is completely different and it's not a bad thing. And you know, because it's just their own line of scale. So that's why I didn't include that in the cons. But for now, let's talk about the pros. The head sculpt looks a lot like Michael Keaton, Batman, right? It looks just, it looks just like him, in my opinion. It looks like him. And the likeness is really, really good. And that's the biggest selling point here. And that's the good thing about this figure. It's really good. It's the biggest saving grace of this horrible quality control of this figure. It has a really nice batch symbol over here. Very nice looking batch symbol. It's very clean and it's very visible. You can see it. Even from very, very far away, you can clearly see the bat symbol on there. It is so nice. It looks especially nice with the Michael Keaton head sculpt right above it. You know what I mean? The cape material is not bad. Yes, it's poofy, but the material, the texture of the cape, it looks a lot like leather, just like in the movie. So I'm letting that slide. So it's one of those where you either don't like it and swap the cape, or you just keep the cape. If you keep the cape, it's not that bad. If you put it in like an ashen pose, it's not noticeable. You know, the puffiness is not noticeable if you put it in a more dynamic posing. So yeah, this has nice proportions. There were complaints that in the promo shots, his head was way too small relative to the rest of the body, right? And so what Beast Kingdom did is they listened to the fans. And so what they did is they upscaled the head sculpt a little bit. And now he doesn't look like the promo shots anymore. He looks much better in hand. Way better. The boots look accurate. The gloves are accurate. The sculpt is accurate. I love the armor sculpt of the chest. That's my favorite look for Michael Keaton Batman. And I love the panel lines all over it. It's very accurate. It's like really good. I really like the little wrinkles on the gloves. That's a nice touch of detail. I mean, you can see that the seam here is clearly made to look like he's wearing the gloves. That's very nice. I like that. And I like how the knees, when they're bent, and I like how it is really smooth when it's bent. That's very nice. It comes with a pretty nice set of accessories and nice alternate hands. Yeah, I like those. I like how the hands are sculpted. You know, so you know it's actually Michael Keaton gloves. So that's very nice. Okay, now I'm going to state my opinion. This guy is beautiful. Okay, I paid about $60 from, what do you call that store? From Entertainment Earth. He's sold out on Big Bad Toy Store. But there's an old man version, you know, the version in the Flash movie. It is still available on Big Bad Toy Store, and do not let the promo shots fool you, because that one, they fixed the proportion of the head. They fixed the proportions of it, so it's definitely guaranteed going to look much better than the promo shots. You know, that Flash Batman. But anyway, about this one, it is so good. It looks good. It looks like Michael Keaton. And I personally think it is worth $60, which is a little expensive. But because he has a really good likeness, $60 is not too bad. Especially when compared to Hot Toys and Mezco, which costs over $100. Mezco is like $140 aftermarket or something, or maybe $200, I don't know. And the Hot Toys is already $250, and that's on pre-order right now. It's not even out right now. It's $250 retail, which is very, very expensive. This one though, even though out of scale with 1/12 and out of scale with 1/6, it's its own line, yes, but he's only $60. Okay, only $60. And the best part about this, compared to Hot Toys and Mezco, is if the joints feel too tight, you still have a chance to fix them with this, right? Like I just showed you in the video, I moved the thigh up and it was very, very tight. I was able to fix it with silicone shock oil on there. And now you can move just fine. because I'm able to fix it. I don't have to, you know, take apart the whole thing and then fix it. With Mexico's Batman, Michael Keaton Batman, if you have really tight joints, which really sometimes there are some that have really tight joints in the legs, you can't fix it. You just can't. It's way too tight and you're stuck with it, like forever. And you try to push it too hard, you might risk breaking that leg. And there's no way to fix it because he's completely covered in his seamless body. You're stuck with that. Not the case with this Batman figure. See the difference? And now, let's talk about Hot Toys. If the Hot Toys figure has very, very tight hip joints like this, very, very tight, and you have to fix it, you have to take the whole skin, like the black suit, you take the whole thing off and then fix the joint inside and then put the whole thing back on. And remember, that's $250. Are you willing to risk taking the whole suit off, fix the joint, and then put the whole suit back on? I don't think you would. Not for a $250 figure. This guy is $60. And the joints mostly are fine. It's just the legs are the problem. That's it. And remember, Mexico, the seamless body on Mexico is going to disintegrate over time. While this figure, the look of this figure will last for years and years and years. While the Mexico would disintegrate and will look like even worse than it used to look. You know what I mean? Because it will just shrink, or it will have a lot of tears all over the body because of that seamless rubber body, which is a terrible decision they did. He is pretty big when it comes to scale, about 8 inches tall. That's kind of big for an action figure, but not too big. It's a pretty nice scale. This has to be one of my favorite action figures so far. It's only because of the likeness, okay? The likeness is the biggest. I can't stress this enough. The likeness of this figure is worth it, okay? Even with all the really bad quality control going on with an action figure from the neck down, it is still worth it because of that head sculpt. And the sculpt of the body too. The sculpt of the body, very good. Proportions are very good. Nice cape. Looks like leather cape. And he's gonna look really nice on your shelf. If you are a Michael Keaton Batman fan, you should definitely not hesitate and get him right now before he sells out everywhere. He's already sold out on Big Bad Toy Store. There might be more in stock of him soon, maybe, but I can't guarantee you that. So yeah, in my opinion, even with all the bad flaws going on with this, it's still a pretty good figure. If you can just spend a little more for silicone shock oil and get that in hand. So in case yours has really bad tight joints. Thank you for watching. I hope this video review helps you decide on whether or not you should get it. And keep collecting, keep posting your action figures, and take care. See you next time.